Hey, Sam! Amadon is here. And our wonderful director. All right, this thing will get started with Watt and Brandon soon. So thanks for being here. Hopefully more will be here. I am going to just leave it running for the sake of the other two members, but hello, everyone. Enjoy. I'm going to make it so you don't have to look at this. Hey, yo. By the way, Sam, since you can hear me, we got to do something sometime. I won't talk about it anymore, but I think that every time I see your name. All right, I'll keep it on topic now. I'm going to make it so you guys don't have to look at me until I get everybody joined in here. All right, Seabrook in. I see that. Yes, Sam, that's the good news. There's lots to mine here. Anyways, once we get Brandon, we'll call Watt in. We'll see how that goes. I don't know if Mr. Watt is too comfortable with using Instagram on his mobile device so he can do this. I hope so. It's early in the morning for Mr. Watt, but if you know him, as I do, you know he is up at like 5 in the morning working nonstop. It's pretty crazy. Well, while we're waiting, I may as well play some 3-layer cake here. All right. Thanks for your patience, everyone. I'll stop blabbing and just put some music on. Ooh, I did get the New York Art Quartet. Brandon Seabrook is unable to join. Why? Let's see. Let me try inviting Watt in, and then we'll come back. Hey, somebody's here. Brandon's here. All
I'm
right.
outside. Wait a minute. I'm going to put headphones on.
Yeah, no problem. You know, Watt isn't on Instagram yet, but, you know, he'll probably be here in a
All right.
minute.
Let me. Oh, God. We're live, right? Oh, shit. Hold on.
We are, but, you know, I told everybody we're just getting going. You know, it's cool. They can deal with it. I was just about to play.
Is the wind a problem?
No, I can hear you good. You know,
Nice.
what's a real problem is my bloatedness in the face, apparently.
Why? What happened? What?
Oh,
No.
what happened? What happened is
IPAs?
no, well, maybe, but what happened is I stopped commuting to New York City 5 days a week for the past year and a month. So
Oh,
I'm
that's
not,
good.
it is, but
You're not running around.
I'm not running across Central Park 3-4 times a day. So,
Well, I took this. I've taken the subway maybe 5 times with my guitar, and I was definitely out of breath and winded by the time I got to the top of the steps.
oh man, if you have to go to like what, Lex and 63rd, is that the one where you have to ascend like 5,000 steps?
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I
Yeah.
couldn't do that one right now. I'm talking about like 4th Ave and 9th Street. I like
Oh,
went up
that's the
like
worst.
like two kind of big flights, and I'm like,
Totally, man. I used to live in that neighborhood,
yeah, right.
and I used to carry my drums to concerts like on my back, and before I had a car. And I lived near that station. That was the worst. I would try to get people to give me a ride to another station, and I would get on there.
You would take your drums on the subway in like a little
Oh
kit.
man, I had a big LL Bean snowboard bag, and I would fill it up with all my drum set hardware, and I'd sling it over my shoulders, and then I had all soft cases for my drums. There's Watt. All right, I'm gonna
He
invite
joined.
Watt in.
Okay.
Yeah, and I would just carry my drums on my shoulders, going from wherever I lived. I did that for my first couple of years, and to
Wow.
be honest, I think that's one of the reasons that Milford Graves liked me so much, because he used to talk about how he would load
Nice.
his drums onto a carriage that he would
Wow.
connect to his bicycle, and he would ride his
Wow.
bicycle from Jamaica, Queens to like Harlem to
Gigs.
go and jam with, he told me one time about riding his bike to go jam with Sun Ra. Hey, Watt, I
Oh my
see you.
God.
I just invited you,
How the
Watt.
fuck do I get aboard? Come aboard.
It says we're waiting for you. If it doesn't work, I'll try again. You should get an invitation, Watt.
If I hold on, I need to make my screen doesn't go dark. Oh man, I'm so bad at this. Hold on.
What's up, Dan?
Dan, Pig. What's up, Pig?
All right. So, Watt, if you still hear me, if this doesn't work, we'll figure it out.
All aboard.
Yeah. Let's see. Watt is unable to join. We'll try again. It said that with Pig. I don't know what that means, but I'm into that.
Pig. Dan Weiss is a certified pig.
He's a certified pig.
Yeah.
What do you have to do to be a certified pig?
It's got to do with Sylvester Stallone, and I don't know, just being a pig. It's just a state of mind.
Okay. All right. Cool. I'm down with it. We are.
Oh,
good.
is that wind? Is the wind killing you or no?
No, the wind is fine.
Okay.
The wind is totally fine. So we're trying to get Watt on again. Hey, what's up, Sam Mickens? Watt,
I see all the people.
You might need to use your mobile device, Watt, if that's possible. I know that if I'm using my computer, like we do when we Skype, I'm unable to get in on the video. If Watt leaves the live stream and then comes back in, then a button will appear for him to request to join. Sam Anadon with the useful information.
Thank you.
Well, let's see. Thanks, Sam.
Watt, you have to leave the session and come back in.
Okay, says he's unable to join again. Everybody, we will wait till we get Mike Watt on here. We know me and Brandon talking about wind. Oh, he's on an iPad. Okay, great, Watt. So, thank you.
We're talking about wind. Are you hearing that?
I hear it, but it's not bad.
Tell me if it's bad. I'll go inside.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Watt, I'm going to try inviting you again, okay?
On the iPad.
The only thing I...
Oh, there he is.
Oh! Yeah, we made it. And look, who's the big one on video this time? Oh, shit!
It's Mike Pride.
No. How you doing, Mr. Watt?
Glad to be aboard.
Yeah,
welcome aboard.
Good morning. All right. So we got everybody in here. Happy, it's almost May Day. I bet Mr. Watt knows a lot more about May Day than I do.
Yeah, it's a heavy day.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it got bum rushed by got a long tradition.
Got bum rushed by who?
Some assholes.
Oh, yeah. Doesn't everything.
A lot of things happen.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly.
So, we're going to talk about questions for 3-layer cake.
Yeah.
Last time we had one fucking question.
That's right. Yeah, we had one question last time. People can see that on YouTube, but I know Brandon got some specific questions. I got some questions that were sent in. But if people want to start typing in questions that they think are worthy of our dealing with, and we'll take all the love for Watt and everybody as well. That's all excellent.
Brad Cohen. We know Brad Cohen's got a question.
Yeah, let's see it. Let's see it. And as you'll see,
last time it was a music journalist person.
It was Kevin Riley.
Gig goers and listeners too.
Yeah. I think we got 80 people on here now. That's like 10 times my solo live stream last summer.
Against music journalists, I have a lot of friends in that. I wonder if there's other people who got inquiring minds.
Right.
Yeah, let's see.
All right, somebody type a question. And if it's good, we'll put you on. We can put 4 people on camera, but that's it. Brandon, what was one of the questions that you got yesterday?
I got a question is will this band tour? And when?
That's a good question.
Much torn right now.
Yeah.
Touring the information superhighway.
Virtual tour.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
yeah,
there we go.
Bonita
Sladen, the director of our music video, just chimed in and said, "Will you play live?"
So what is that? That means they listen to the music and they want to see us do a gig, or is it just
they want to see us do a gig?
To say because they need words out there that represent them.
I think they want to see us do a gig.
They're not interested in the music, huh?
They just want to see us
play live. Yeah. Okay.
Craig Wendren just asked, I can't. How do you see? Who's rocking the wind chimes? Oh, I am. Yeah.
What's up, Craig? Man, do you know Craig, Mike?
I know a bunch of Craigs. Which
Do you
one?
know do you know do you know Craig Wedren from Shudder to Think?
Oh yeah, the singer man.
Yeah.
Yeah, singer, guitar
He lives
man.
here now in SoCal. I saw him fucking maybe Pomona or something. Claremont. Yeah, Montclair.
Craig,
And
I don't know if you
man, he is
remember.
an incredible singer. I think DC area. And
Yeah,
Yeah,
Shudder to Think.
right.
he had a
You know,
beautiful band, Shudder to Think. Yeah.
my
Beautiful band.
friend
He's
Sam.
righteous people. Yeah. Why? Why? He asked us something. He
Oh,
He
wanted
he's
just
in
us
asked
to
for
here.
the
play a
wind
gig.
chimes.
Is that
No.
what it's all about? You know,
He's
all
pro-
this shit. Oh, I miss gigs. I miss gigs. Look, people, when the fucking gigs happen again, show up.
Yeah.
I know you're
Yeah.
just talking shit because you can. Right? Same reason the dog licks his balls, you know? Right?
No
Oh,
guest
I
list
miss
either.
gigs. I miss gigs. Then the gigs will be on, and who's going to be staying at home?
Right.
Craig,
Hate to be a
Craig,
little
I don't know if
cynical.
you remember, but we did a gig years ago with Frank London on his Night in the Old Marketplace thing. I don't know if you remember that. I was playing guitar. That was
Craig,
years ago.
I
Craig, yeah,
think
and
I
Craig.
played with them last at RFK Stadium.
Wow.
Really?
Stage was bigger than most of the pads I played.
Yeah.
And you know
Damn.
what happened? The fucking sound man walked away after about 2 minutes. Can you imagine playing a
Left
football
it.
stadium, the sound man walks away? That's like when I did gigs with Minutemen 40 years ago. Assholes.
Man, we
I wouldn't
Sound
want
men.
any part of it.
Gigs come back, so do sound
And then
men.
you know
Sound
what
men
happened?
return.
The antidote was Chris Kirkwood jumping on stage without an amplifier and a banjo dressed as a jester and dancing and shit.
Was that Lollapalooza or something?
No, it's one
No.
of those new wave K-rock kind of,
Oh, okay.
what's it called? Pay to play, you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Festival
yeah.
or
Yeah. Oh,
Totally.
the return of sound people, with the return of gigs.
thing went to sleep. So, and
That's okay.
I'll tell you another righteous thing about that gig was downstairs talking to Joey, the Ramones singer, and he told me punk movement was like a hay wagon, and if you got something to bring, jump on.
Yeah, jump on the
Craig
bandwagon.
Wendron's chiming in. It was the WH Festival at RFK.
Okay, see, my
There's a
Alzheimer's
question from
totally
Brad Cohen.
conquered my
Brad
mind.
Cohen writes in. Question from Brad Cohen. Can you talk about how the hell you recorded Stovetop never being in the same room, and if it was a pants shitter for what? That's from Brad Cohen.
It's always pants shitter when you foisted music on people.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did it in a very logical way, right? I sent Watt drum parts. He added on the bass, and then we sent it over to
The
Brandon.
basic idea was I had Mike on my show, and not long before that, I had Jack Wright and Bob Marsh, and who are free music people, right? Jack Wright wrote the book, The Free Music. And so I was tempted to try to do that, given the constraints of the sitch. And yeah, I was pretending Mike was there. I mean, I could hear his drums, so it wasn't too tough.
Right.
I could rewind. That was different.
Right.
Yeah,
we had-
right. A lot of rewinding happening for
But
me.
there was many pants were shat. And you know, I didn't know about Brandon. What I knew of Brandon was him playing in Pedro a couple years ago at a festival.
I was on your show like 4 years ago, maybe.
That
too. That was a while.
No, but also it's not like in person.
Right.
It's like making this record.
Right.
Okay, so you know, yeah, I know you. I actually had you on the show much before all these other guys.
Years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
Look
And
at all
that was
this.
because I think Howard made the connect, right?
That was Stevie Buono, I think.
did. Stevie
Bono
Bono
did that one.
Yeah. Stevie Bono. You know, the people. It's all about people and connects and stuff. So
Yeah.
situation brings people into your life, and just like getting dealt a hand, hand at cards, you got to play the best. And it was interesting, you know. I wouldn't say pants shitter like cathartic, but pants shitter like, what is to be done.
How are we going to do it? Yeah.
Or me, trying to get into this thing. I talked before a little bit with Saccharine. I've done some of these. The Minutemen actually had a tradition at the gigs of doing tiny ones.
Improvs. Yeah.
So I'm building on all that. But it was basically reacting to Mike in the moment. And then Brandon used both of those events to bring his thing. And he said his was a little different, that he developed parts. But, I mean, me and Mike were developing parts, too.
Yeah.
In a different way.
Totally. Yeah, and I saw somebody
it's like
ask.
when you say random. Random is still a way of organizing things. It's just organized randomly.
Yeah, it's organized intuitively.
No, I'm saying that random. Random doesn't say no organization.
Right.
It is organized in a random way.
Yeah.
And so making parts, that's what I meant. Brandon, me and you, Mike, were making parts. And so was Brandon, but in kind of little different ways, I guess.
Yeah, and I saw somebody ask, we didn't always start with drums. We had the last
Who's got
track.
the fucking wind going? Somebody's outside, right?
I am outside. Should I go in? Is it too much?
I think so.
I'm going in.
Okay, I mean, it's great.
Yeah, it's too much. It's too much. I'm going in.
Or put a
All right,
sock
I'm in.
on there.
I'm in. All right, I'm inside.
We have the first track at the end of the first side of the LP was started by Brandon, and the last track at the end of the first side was started by Brandon, and the last track at the end of the record was started by Watt. So each side ends with a track that was not started by drums. I did see that question coming. We're getting.
Well, we needed more time for the last one. I remember I came up with that thing.
Totally, yeah. We needed like 2 minutes, and Watt came up with like kind of a brilliant.
Came up with something to
piece.
fit. It's like the way I sequence my radio show. You see how much time you got left. You find some music that'll fit in there, and so
Totally.
I did that with a part.
Yeah.
And since you had done like a lot of the heavy lifting with 8 parts. Actually, I didn't even know about the Brandon one, right?
Right. Yeah.
I started one.
Yeah, I know.
Last song on the first side.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what ended up happening with the titles was Brandon ended up, and then Mike renamed some.
Yeah.
I thought like if the guy who didn't start it maybe, or
Name
was
it.
last on. That's what it was. The guy that was last on would come up and have the privilege of
That was fun.
giving a title.
Totally. I see somebody ask.
Why you make a band? You set your own fucking rules.
Yeah.
Totally.
When you get a prize, you get going. So if it's mysterious and shit, that's because it's our proclivity. It's not any better than anybody else is playing, but you do. That's why you make a band. You get together and you try to commiserate on a certain set of trips.
Totally.
So all trios don't sound like fucking ZZ Top, even though Tres Hombres album's pretty good. But we don't need like 10 million copies of that. But there's lots of ways of running a power trio. For example, SST at one point had Husker Du, Meat Puppets, and Minutemen. And they were all doing guitar, bass, drum, but in a different way.
Totally different. Yeah.
Well, not totally because they're all using bass, drums.
Bass, drums, and guitar. The music approach.
In fact, we're a little more
12 notes.
with the glockenspiel shit.
Yeah. Banjo, glockenspiel.
But it's still a trio. There's something about something, Of course.
Yeah, it's still a rhythm section.
Yeah, rhythm section with the tenor. A soloist. It came out of. I've read about it. It actually starts in a rock and roll thing with Cream, but it started before that with the bebop guys. And it has interesting roots in it because there was huge billage about having vocalists singing on records or playing on records. If we play on records, they'll just play the records. They won't hire us for gigs. So there was that's why you have BMI and ASCAP. I mean, there was a lot of consequences of that. And one thing was, well, just get a little rhythm section going, and then you have a soloist. So they're trying to cut down and make it also Torn, Econo. I was reading 1939, there was 30,000 fucking swing bands.
Wow.
Carrying at
30,
least 9, 12 dudes and
in
a
the bus.
ranger and bus driver, whatever I mean, you know, so stuff like that. But
That must have been wild.
I didn't ask for 4 people. I didn't ask for 5 people. I thought we could do it with 3. And Mike came up with Brandon. And it's trippy that he was on the show and I played with him in my town. But I didn't. It's still different. Still
Right.
different.
Well, I knew there were those.
He's not.
There,
Yeah, you're right. He's not a complete stranger. And in fact, I saw him in person. He was on stage right before us, I think. Is that true, Pedro?
I'm not sure.
I think it was.
Was it? Yeah.
And then after us was those guys from Mali.
Oh, who was that?
Right? Yeah, from the desert, Western Africa, and playing trippy, great.
Ah.
Yeah, like the bass man got his bass from Flea and stuff. Flea told me about this a few years ago. These guys, they heard some Jimi Hendrix, you know, and mixed it in with their traditions, and it was a fucking bitch of music. My buddy Billy helps them out, tour boss. Used to be a wrestler, big Lebanon guy. I love Billy.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, if I remember the gig, I think Bob Pollard played too later in the afternoon, Guided by Voices.
Here's a question.
Right in the harbor, right? Not a lot of gigs in Peter were like that. That was different.
Did you ever get feedback on your music by any musicians that inspired you?
What, this music here?
Or your music in general? Did you ever get feedback on your music by any I think they mean in general. Or maybe about this music.
People on the radio show, guess, like Luke Stewart was on last week, bassman.
Bassman, yeah.
And he said he listened to Les Claypool and me when he was younger. I mean,
he definitely did.
He's very kind.
Yeah.
When people do that.
Church chords. Stevie Buono is on. So.
Hey, Stevie. Philly. But now,
you know,
Valley.
I saw Sam Mickens here.
Valley.
I saw Sam Mickens mentioning about the big band tour buses. He's talking about Lionel Hampton. So Sam Mickens must know what I know if he's bringing
Lionel
that up.
Hampton's singer was little Jimmy Scott.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Have you heard about?
I saw him a few times. He was beautiful. Pettibone took me. He's beautiful.
Yeah, Jimmy Scott. I was just texting with another musician yesterday, Sam Weinberg, and he was telling me that when he's going through a hard time, the music that brought him back was Graham Lampkin. And I was telling him that mine is always Jimmy Scott. But the stories of those Lionel Hampton's tours, have you guys ever heard about the crazy shit that Jimmy Scott got into on those tours?
No.
Dude, I think he tried. There were multiple fights on those buses. And I believe that Jimmy Scott tried to attack, and Sam Mickens might be able to clarify this if he's still here, tried to attack a girlfriend/prostitute with a push lawnmower.
Wow.
On the bus. How do you get it on the bus?
Well, I mean, yeah, not on the bus, but there were these stories that those guys were just ferociously drunk all the time and, furious and just the craziest shit going on. And it sounds like Jimmy Scott was kind of
there's another innovation from Lionel Hampton's band. I think he's one of the first jazz guys to try to carry an electric bass player.
Oh, yeah?
Wow.
Because Charlie Mingus talks about it. Yeah, I saw Lionel Hampton with the guy with one of those. He didn't like electric bass. In fact, he was on Atlantic for a little bit, right? We're going to team you up with this new guy, Stanley Clark.
Oh, shit.
So he tries to teach Stanley Clark to take the A train. And Stanley Clark, I don't need to learn that. Or something, if you read Beneath the Underdog, Charlie told us.
Oh, yeah.
The veracity of that. But it's trippy about how that's kind of the beginning of the end of the mentorship. This is something that bring Luke Stewart up again. But he was talking about this thing in D.C. where you get together with the elders and shit. And that got lost, I got to say, between the bebop and some of the rock and roll. Like the England guys with the blues, I mean, they wouldn't pay them anything, but they'd let Muddy Waters open up and shit like that. Howlin' Wolf, you can hear in John Fogerty's voice, But it seemed like with bebop and rock and roll, I guess the closest it could get to it was fucking fusion.
Oh, your favorite. Oh, gosh, yeah.
What do you want to say about fusion, Mike?
It's that Yeah, it's always been the nightmare. No, I have a bigger nightmare. It's a gravestone. You know, I want to be buried at sea anyway. But this nightmare has a gravestone, and all it says on it is "fucked up a Stooges gig." But the other one is like kneeling down the hallway, and with, you know, God Fusion there, waiting to pat me on the head or some shit.
Right.
Hither, come hither. I
So,
want to avoid it all at all costs.
okay,
I mean,
somebody
why does
asked.
that have to be? You know, humans, the more they do something, the more and more they do. But on bass, man, we get punished fuck for that because our notes get littler and littler. It's always search for the right notes, not the most.
Mm.
Guitar guys can get away with it. Drummers,
Drummers can. It depends. You know, you gotta balance the most with the.
you know, 256 notes. You know,
Exactly.
Flight of the Bumblebee.
Oh man, I think that was the first thing I ever learned on mallet percussion when I was a kid.
Really?
I'm pretty sure my teacher
Man,
was.
it's a ball buzzer. I was reading about fucking Billy Cobham. He was in drum corps in New York City, right? So they're doing paradiddles to hold quarters on the bulkhead. That's what they start with. They get down to dimes. Like you look at Billy Cobham's snare drum and there's one dent in the middle. Like there's no dimples, you know, all around.
Right.
You know, like the
Yes.
Schirnstein. Okay, he can do a little fusion, no problem.
Yeah. Right.
And I, you know, the big fusion album, right, that started off is The Bitches Brew. And I will say, well, Dave Holland, beautiful, you know, on the stand-up. But, yeah, the guy Miles got from Stevie Wonder's band, Michael Henderson, I really dig his Econo parts.
Yeah.
You know, something else. And I did see the first Mahavishnu tour.
Wow.
Birds of Fire.
How loud was it?
It was loud, and they were. Yeah. That was Billy Cobham and Rick Laird on the bass, and of course John McLaughlin, Jan Hammer. I think Jerry Goodman was. It didn't last long, right? Those egos. Anyway, those are gigs. I think the second album is a live album.
Speaking of
So
gigs,
maybe
somebody
that's what
asked.
We gotta give people a live gig, right?
Somebody
well,
asked.
When they get this fucking, the only problem we got, why we have to trade files, is the latency thing, right?
You're right. Yeah. Supposedly, I have a client who I teach, and she is like some kind of business guru for people for her own thing. And she was telling me, I don't know who this guy is, but some kind of technology guy who she was sure has a new technology where like the delay over the internet is going to be negated completely through whatever this technology is. I hope she's right. Then we could do round 3 all at the same time.
Yeah. Until then, trade files.
Yeah, this works. People are asking. The album comes out May 14. It comes out in 2 weeks.
I just think it's easy to say, why don't you do gigs? It's just so easy. And then you're not even thinking ahead. Hey, maybe they can't do gigs because like nobody's doing gigs. Or maybe it's a project put together of improvisation. See, they could like think about that, but they just say that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like when I got really scared for a while when I'd go to Brighton and meet Brother Sam and, are y'all right? But it's just colloquial. He's not really asking, you know, is my dick hanging out of my pants? You know, it's not literal.
Right.
It's just banner.
Yeah. I mean,
not to put anybody down, but come on.
Right. Well, I certainly hope that in
2022
there's
fucking
the opportunity.
Pounding this one.
With this
pounding it.
8-pound sledge. Claw hammer.
Let's see.
Claw hammer, right?
Somebody asked, Watt, what is the shittiest live gig you've ever seen?
Oh.
What kind of gig?
What is the shittiest live gig you've ever seen? Somebody asked you that on here.
I was part of one where I could see my truck across the street. I ran out the hatch and bailed. I thought it was total torture on the listeners.
Is it? Yeah. If somebody asked where you can get the album, is it unclear? Where I commented you can
Rare
get it
Noise.
on RareNoise.com.
Yeah.
Rare
what's
Noise
it called?
Bandcamp.
Rare Noise Music.
Rare Noise
Records.
Rare Noise Records.
You know, my favorite.
RareNoiseRecords.com.
Let me put it in here.
My favorite response to a question like that. Where can you find it? I saw Peter Evans, the great trumpet player, was offering lessons a couple months ago online, and somebody was like, asking him, how do I get in touch with you to schedule a lesson? And he was like, look, if you can't figure out
Yeah, if you got
how to find this information, then I really can't help you. So, but yeah, Rare Noise.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
It'll be on LP.
Oh, I sent the wrong link.
Oh, it's all right. They'll figure it out.
Did I
Watson.
say a good?
You
I
did.
say
You
the
got
good
it. You
one?
got it.
Yeah, you got it. You got it.
I got it.
Yeah. But yeah, I certainly hope that we can do something in 2022. I know there's interest.
November, the Hoot page is 25 years. So I've been
Wow.
doing this stuff a little bit.
Wow.
Wow.
What
Is
were
the
you
show
saying,
25
Mike? Sorry
years?
to interrupt.
Yeah.
So,
what were you saying, Mike? I'm sorry.
oh, I'm just saying, I I hope we get the opportunity to do some live playing starting in 2022, I guess. But
Yeah.
I know there's,
Well, we got that out of the way, right? So that question never fucking comes up again.
right, exactly. So let's see. I see from,
Hola, Isabel
when
Blondette.
gigs get going, if you call a tour more than a month, I've done 67. Living in SoCal, I usually do 4 or 5 a month. I do buttloads.
Yeah.
I think it's just people, whatever.
well, I see a more particular question. I see Stevie Buono asking for you to tell the story about
Stevie comes to a lot of my gigs.
He does. He comes to everybody's gigs. Stevie is
You know what I mean?
number one
So
supporter.
that guy, he can ask about gigs all fucking day long.
Yeah.
No, it's reality. He ain't just,
I see.
he's learning drums.
Yeah.
Mike, you might have another.
Oh, when I first met him, he was an aspiring drummer. He played in a band called Red Dot or something, or
Split Red, but he was guitar in that, I think.
oh, okay.
But
See, the
but
first
he's
time
always
I met
been
him,
into drums. He's always been into drums.
Yeah.
first
But
time
maybe
I ever met him, I
Split
borrowed a
Red.
drum set from him in
Split Red
Philadelphia.
was named after a Minuteman song.
Yeah.
Awesome. So Stevie Buono says to ask Watt about the time the
Why
Minutemen
doesn't he
shaved
ask
their
me
heads
himself?
pre-Ulmer gig.
Oh, why when you shaved your heads pre-Ulmer gig? Is that what the?
Yeah.
Well, we shaved our heads for a Joanna Went gig,
Oh, okay.
not for James Blood Ulmer.
Okay.
It was for Joanna Went. It was Georgie's idea. He said we should try to look like burned out matchsticks. Me and D Boone had never done this before, so we didn't know you were supposed to use fucking clippers. We used a single blade big disposable thing. Luckily, I was first, so my head was less of a motocross track. It was blood everywhere. I was fucked up, man. So we get up to it was at the Whiskey, West Hollywood. And we get up there, and Georgie didn't fucking do it. It was his idea. I mean, cut it short, but he didn't. And then, the idea was to look like match heads. So D Boone reaches under his motor of the Falcon he had to rub grease all over his face. I said, D Boone, you're going to get pimples and shit. We can't do that. And so he said, yeah, you're right. And so it's only under his eye, and you'll see a cover of a Flipside. Al Flipside took a picture. It's us three looking around a hatch at the Whiskey. And you can see that grease under D Boone's eye. Me and D Boone are bald headed. And Glenn Friedman took pictures. There's pictures of us at that gig. And then I'd never taken, I'd never done that shit. So I never taken a shower. And the first shower was like fucking snowballs and the rain hitting your skull.
Yeah.
Then the next day we go, it's the 4th of July. And we go to Mexico, Ensenada Beach. And if you're at the beach, if you're swimming for like 7-8 hours, unless you're going to drown, your head's going to be and we got burned so fucking bad. The skin was all sensitive. Yeah, pelon rojo, like red bald head. And I wrote, I felt like a gringo because it was Sunday. It was election day for them. The soldiers came into town, young guys, teenagers, and handing out bread. And D Boone wrote Corona. So
those were the each ones he wrote.
But that was it was connection with bald head haircut. But nothing to do with James Blood Ulmer. We did get to do 3 gigs with him, Amin Ali, and Calvin Weston.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, that trio, 3 gigs. I think the lingerie in Hollywood, and then 2 up in the Bay Area, maybe Berkeley and Palo Alto. And they used our equipment, didn't even fucking adjust anything. Not even the drums or anything. Just
Wow.
or change the knobs.
Just played.
Or any of that shit. Yeah, just played. Incredible cats, you know. No bullshit about gear and all the side stuff, superfluous shit. Just getting down there and doing it. We were really impressed by these guys, and they're very kind to us. And very
Derek
grateful
Gaines.
for sharing. What's that?
Derek Gaines just popped in. He's out there in California.
Yeah,
you know him.
yeah. I had him on the show. Two piece, right? Guitar,
Yeah.
drum.
Yeah, him and his
Two-piece.
brother.
Right. I think from the Easter Ridge, but then been out here, and I play with them in with the Shadow Hills, Sunspace.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, good guys. That's where I asked them to be on the show.
Cool.
And what Derek's involved with is he's got buddies who run clubs and trying to weather the situation and stuff, and that's a good thing. I've tried to do stuff for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's speaking of live gigs and stuff. Instead of just talking about it. And I think there was parts of the bill that got passed that's going to help some venues too.
Yeah,
So
I hope so.
everybody's working towards that shit, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I swear, when they come, if I see nobody going, there's going to be bitch slaps and backhands all over the fucking place.
No more.
You
No more.
better
guessing.
come if we go on tour. You better come, people.
A lot of forehead technique. No. The tour I did right before this was really good. 2/3 of it was clean. People were very supportive, very good, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But this proj, I mean, is that really what you think about when you hear the record? I got to see these guys do this live. If that's sincere and true, then that makes me want to really do it with Brandon and Mike. If it's just to say something because you don't know what else to think.
No, I think people who know about it are excited to see us in the same place making music at the same time. I've gotten a handful of emails.
Now what would they want? Us to cover our own songs, or to do like the proj is, which is just improv, right?
Right. Yeah, I don't.
Would they get bummed? It sounds like you're making it up, man. Yeah,
I don't think.
Shit.
I don't think anybody that knows me or Brandon's work would be surprised by that. And at the same time, I don't think it would be that much of a stretch for us to improvise. And
can I tell you an improvised little tiny story about, because you brought up James Blood Ulmer. His bass man was Amin Ali, who, by the way, stopped bass altogether. It's incredible. I can't believe it. But his daddy was the drummer man, Rashid, and he was doing a gig in the same pad we were in Belgium, Brussels, ancient Belgique. There's 2 rooms. And they had just got done with sound check, and I meet Rashid, his father, you know, but he was wearing a turtle shell for a hat, sombrero. And then I stalked him with Amin, and he says, "You know what? This is one of those gigs where you just make shit up while you're doing it."
See, nice way to put it.
Yeah. And, you know, like that, in his mind, that was an easier gig.
Yeah.
For me, that's more of a pants shitter. But even
Brad
if you got
Cohen.
the shit pracked up with your guys, it's still a pants shitter. People worked all week to pay to see the gig, man. You want to let them down? You know, it's intense. You want to really do good for gig goers and show your gratitude.
Sam Mickens thinks we couldn't play it live, but I know he doesn't mean that. But yeah, I see Brad Cohen wants us to play the record live from start to finish. There's a couple problems with that.
You mean recreate the album?
Yeah, I don't know if we could. Yeah, I don't know if we could actually.
What we could do is we hit the space bar and the pewter plays it, and then we
exactly.
it, right?
Man, I saw this guy.
Video, right? I remember making records in the '90s where videos cost more than the albums.
Right.
Yeah, I bet.
Matt, I saw a guy in Mexico City one time. Either of you ever played the Radar Festival in Mexico City?
No.
I played a Corona one there with Stooges.
Yeah, okay. The Radar thing was great, and my project Kalashnikov played, and also was Melt Banana and Wolf Eyes. And on top of that, there was this guy named Drum Corps, not Drummer's Corpse, my thing, but a thing called Drum Corps. And it was just a guy with a drum machine. And he was sitting here. He did what Watt just said. He just like hit play on his space bar And then that was his whole set. So this is his set, and he just like pushes that, and then it goes crazy. It's like insane drum and bass music, and literally he's just miming like he's actually doing the shit the whole time. I'm backstage watching with the guys from Wolf Eyes, laughing our ass off because the music's going like, you know, doing the build up, doom doom doom
Yeah.
doom, doing that
Milli
shit.
Vanilli. Yeah.
Yeah, and the guy's sitting there going doom doom do 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 do, pretending to do it with his fingers for like, you know, 3,000 kids slam dancing. It was one of the silliest things I've ever seen. So, if he's out there, sorry, that sucked.
So I mean, that's how we could actually recreate the album.
Yeah, the problem would be
I
we
mean,
need
is
to add
actually is that the
percussion.
point? Now, what would Jack or Bob say about that?
Oh, there'd be no point in doing that.
Right. If we went to the elders, right? If we were thinking of what Luke was saying, he's talking about you go to their pads and hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's something about that.
I mean, the time I spent with Milford Graves, it quickly turned into just hanging out. So there was like the first time I met him, it was a lesson with a beginning and a middle and an end and homework. And then after 2 or 3 lessons, it just became come over my house every Saturday and hang out with me and my wife. And that was the deepest thing, you know? So
it's the greatest gift another music cat can give to another one.
Yeah, totally.
One music cat can give to another.
Right.
That's Neil Armstrong fucking up when he steps on the moon. One step for a man.
One giant leap.
But you want to be memorable and you still fuck up the language.
No, I had somebody ask me how.
More.
What's that?
More questions.
Yeah. Would you have Mike? You had another question?
Well, a couple weeks ago, somebody texted me or submitted a question asking me what Watt speak we had to learn. So people think apparently that Watt is hard to understand. The only thing that was hard
slang.
The only thing that got me were the nautical directives. So in mixing,
starboard and
port.
How many letters and left?
How many what?
Letters and left.
And left? Oh, 8? I don't know.
Count them.
Is it 8? Is it starboard or port? I don't know. See, I don't know that stuff.
How many letters? Okay, I'm going to ask again. How many letters in left?
All right. 4.
How many letters in port?
4. Oh, there we go.
You'll never forget. Thank you.
Great.
Yeah, I think I sent you a diagram.
Well, solve that big fucking dilemma. Now let's take on, where they're going to put the Fukushima radioactive water.
Okay, let me look through. What do you think they're going to do with that? Send it to space?
No, probably neighbors. That's how you become a good neighbor, right here. So it's so safe. We're not going to put it in Tokyo. You guys can have it.
Yeah.
No, I mean, really, is Watt slang a big fucking issue? And that even means slang, man.
No, it's not.
People working boats.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, there's always been a musical thing with boats because in those days of hoisting those sails and shit, you had to use shanties, right, to get things in sync.
Yeah.
Like drummer boys in the fucking marching row to get killed, right? But this was just toting the barge and lifting the bale. And you did it with songs because that canvas is heavy to bring that shit up. No wind.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Yeah. 2 men on the fucking wheel to turn the rudder.
Yeah.
Well, starboard. That's what they didn't know. It took them years, like with horses. No stirrups for hundreds of years. Great invention, right? With the fucking rudder, putting it, stern, it's dead center. It was like on the side. So it was turning them things. Somebody, figured out.
Well, it wasn't too hard to understand. It would just be, while we were mixing. So he would say, something maybe should be to the port or whatever. And I'd say, oh, excellent. And then immediately Google what side is port.
Here's the problem. This is where I got this, Mike.
Yeah. Okay, good.
My father. Okay. Yeah. He's a sailor, but he was really angry about this shit, giving directions and using this word for affirmative. That's also a fucking direction. Don't be ambiguous, boy, was when it's that critical. You want to run us up on the rocks?
Yeah.
So, turn right,
Yeah.
right.
Right.
Like before port, they actually had larboard.
Larboard.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can you imagine the winds blowing and larboard, starboard? We're on the rocks again. Finally, somebody said, you know what? So this is pragmatic talk. So that's why he didn't want to use the word right for a direction.
I get it.
Because it can mean, you got the fucking Abbott and Costello, who's on first shit going.
Right.
What are they called? Homonyms? Yes, words that sound the same, right? So you use a word with a different sound. That's
right.
why. That's where it comes from.
Yeah, and the syllables will be most
most
helpful if you're out in the loud.
on your ass.
Here's Change Bear. Did you guys do video calls and listen back to the track and discuss? If not, how else did you trade notes?
Email.
Yeah.
Mostly email.
Yeah.
Email. Yeah, we didn't do video calls back then. It's new to us. This whole thing is new.
Yeah.
Video call.
Our first video call was last week.
Well,
as a proj.
Yeah,
as a trio.
Yeah, we all. Yeah, it goes way back.
Way, it ain't that fucking new. Truth be told.
Yeah.
But as a dynamic thing on working on the Stovetop record, correct. It was email banner, and the only revisions was in mix stage that I remember. I don't remember any of the creative parts being revised.
Right.
I think we settled for whatever came out because that was part of the Petri dish stipulations, of making the culture. Mm-hmm. Was like, go for it, dare, jump from the pole, like Jack Wright said. So, but when it came to mixing, that was some more ping pong and back and forth. And it was done with email.
That was involved.
Of course, you would send us mixes. We'd listen to the mix. It wasn't all just by words. You would send the mixes.
Right.
But we didn't listen to them over the Skype.
Yeah, that would be hard.
Well, it wouldn't be accurate, right?
It would sound like.
Who wants to come in? We've got to get someone in on a guest. Can we invite?
Okay, yeah. Who first one to chime in? Did you mix it yourselves? Yeah, I
Mike Pride
another
mixed
layer.
it.
They want a 4-layer cake. See, here it is again. You just say it because you can say it.
Right.
Yeah, why don't we get a big band, swing band going? And, join them other 29,000.
No. Just join in on the call.
Yeah, we just meant to get another.
We just meant the call, not the proj, the proj. No, 3-layer only. This is just to join us here.
See, Bruno's from Rotterdam, and he's a righteous bass man.
Yeah.
He plays with a bow. He's also can draw really good and beautiful man.
Let's bring him in.
Well, I see him here. It says, "Did you mix it yourselves?" Mike Pride mixed
it.
3-layer cake. Mike Pride.
I did, but I had great
his
input
pad
from
was the oven.
Yep. Yeah, we're in the oven.
In fact, the oven is on the cover.
The oven is on
there
the cover.
There it is.
But it's outside of the oven.
Exactly.
I'm showing you the inside of the oven now.
There it is. There it is.
That's the view from the inside.
That's the portal.
Yeah, that's the portal. And that's the back of the album is my backyard, but you can't really see right now. Yeah. But that's there, and then this is, there's the Glockenspiel that we used. Here's the marimba, which is
what you use.
Yeah, exactly. Here's the marimba.
Wow, nice.
You wouldn't want to hear what, try.
Here's where we did the drums.
A lot of fucking dink.
There's where we mixed it. But
yeah, it says that you did a good mix. It's ill. I guess
it's
that's
ill.
Adam Yauch.
I'm glad.
Adam Yauch, incredible bass man. Beautiful guy. I miss him so much. But
where is that? I am in Chester, New York. So I'm in Orange County, New York. Lord.
Actually, you're in the town with Al Margolis.
Yes, Al Margolis lives down the street.
Wow.
And the great bass player Drew Gress does as well.
Culture, right? He started this huge cassette culture. I've had a couple cats on the Watt from Pedro show telling me about it. He was a facilitator. And then in the 90s, a CDR culture.
Yeah, with what? If Buana Dick or something like that?
Yeah, that's his own personal. But he got a network going where dudes would trade tapes and shit. Yeah, beautiful.
Oh, man,
did need Spin Magazine approval.
Totally.
Parallel universe.
He's awesome. There's a house up here.
To me.
There's a house like 3 miles from my house, out in the middle of nowhere up here. Do you know 99 Hooker? Either of you?
99 Records, I remember it was a
record
store and also a label.
Okay, 99 Hooker. I don't know what his real name is, but he's an experimental guy who was around New York City when I moved to the city in 2000. Anyways,
There
he
is
had
no
to.
SG bass. I think maybe nowadays, because idiots keep calling it that, they're called EBs. And they didn't, SG means second generation Les Paul. And they looked like those, not at first. First, they looked like Johnny Thunder guitars. I don't want to get into this, but I love it when guys get into gear.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then
Oh,
that's the whole
God.
fetish. And then they think they're actually showing you that how much they don't know. So you know what? Stay away from it maybe, and let's go get into music and out
Yeah,
of here. Okay, I've played an EB3 and an EBO. I've never had that bass. Now,
you've got your own custom fit.
Adam Yauch did give me a bass when my shit got stolen with the Stooges in Montreal in 2008. It was called a Les Paul Professional. It weighed about 30 pounds. Beautiful bass. Played it at a gig, one gig. What's it called? Warehouse 5 or some shit in Manhattan.
I don't know that one.
It was terrible acoustic. It was with Stooges. But anyway, I played it because it's so beautiful. A guy named Andy up in Rochester gave me an EB3. And then Dan in San Diego gave me, and I called it the Andy bass. And then Dan gave me an EBO in San Diego. And I called it the Dan bass. But I've never owned an SG bass. And I've had to talk about this a million times. For why? You guys making a buttload of money at reverb.com? Or because you're calling it the wrong thing.
Discount
the
code.
plate that covers up the
Discount code.
trust
Discount code Thunderpants.
This has shit to do with fucking 3-layer cake.
Well, I do want to say this about Al Margolis. So, like, Al Margolis,
Beautiful man.
He's got this whole thing going. There's even a book publishing company up here now down the street from me. And they put out this amazing book by Idem Theftable.
Oh, yeah. He's from Maine. He's up in Maine, right?
Yeah, he was recently on your show, Scott.
Yeah, absolutely.
He and I grew up together. He and I have known each other since, I don't know, like maybe kindergarten. And he made this amazing book of just illustrations and words. And the publishing company literally is down the street from my house. So when I moved up here to Chester, New York, all I knew was that it was commutable to the city. I didn't know Al Margolis would be nearby. I didn't know Drew Gress would be down the street. I didn't know, Lovano's in the area with his wife. I didn't know there were all these cats up here. James Emery, you know that guy, the guitar player? Used to do some AACM stuff.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
New York String Quartet, I think.
Yeah. New York String Trio.
I don't really know him, but he's up here, and there's a whole bunch of cats up here, so there's cool shit going on. But really, I think a lot of it is from people like Al settling in, and he knows what's important to him and what his music needs and what it doesn't need. And it's been inspiring to not need so much, just to make the stuff and not need all the bullshit. So
yeah, it makes sense. I like it. And I like the way Chester is kind of, well, what happened? What, people fled the city?
Yeah, a big community up here is actually, because there used to be, I don't know what the place is called, but I bike ride a lot in the woods up here, and I found this giant abandoned town.
Wow.
That's kind of near where there's these Orthodox communities. It's in between the Orthodox Jewish communities and the non-Orthodox communities. It's as simple as that up here, unfortunately. There's an abandoned town, and in that town, there's a couple of massive buildings that could hold tens of thousands of people. But they're all falling apart. And I asked a friend of mine who grew up around here what that was all about. And he said there used to be a huge population in Chester and Goshen of transient people who would just walk through, and there was a shelter for homeless people to dry out at in Orange County, right along the train.
Orange County.
Yeah, right along the train line.
Yeah, because here we got one. There's one in Florida too.
There, yeah, okay, yeah, exactly, yeah. And so guys would
in ours.
Guys would go and crash at this place, and still, if you go around the trails here,
how close is Beacon?
Beacon is about a 30-minute drive east.
Okay, because it's on the river, right? And I know there was hippie people. I think hippie people went there.
Yeah.
After I think the whole idea was let's get up the river.
Totally. It's commutable. You can be into the Upper West Side of Manhattan in 45, 50
And you know
minutes.
what?
Whoa.
It changes even when you get to Yonkers. You know, you start going up, and all of a sudden Manhattan doesn't exist.
Totally. I think most
Brooklyn.
people I've met here work in the city. Um,
Okay.
I mean, it's a big commuter town. Basically, when we were having our second kid, we just kind of looked at the map and said we didn't want to go to Long Island. We didn't want to go to Connecticut. We didn't want to go
Oh.
to Pennsylvania. We didn't want to go to New Jersey.
Oh.
So where the hell in New York can we go where I can still get to the city in an hour? And it was Goshen, Chester, Blooming Grove.
Nice, beautiful.
Okay.
I saw a
We found one
picture of
house.
that picture of your yard you posted the other. It was beautiful. The front with all
Oh
the work
yeah,
you
yeah. We got
did,
some.
all the landscaping you did.
Yeah, you know, my
Beautiful.
wife deals with the flowers. I do the landscaping. She does the flowers. But yeah, there's nice. It's nice.
Beautiful.
You know, I grew up in Maine, so I
A lot
took
of
all that.
space. You have a lot of space,
Jersey
right?
City.
Yeah,
Jersey City is where WFMU
FMU.
Yeah.
and they got gigs that are going to happen. They were just starting to happen downstairs.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
recently.
I wouldn't shit you. I mean, it's
Oh,
a
I
great station. People can listen to it everywhere.
Oh
But
yeah.
downstairs, you know, maybe you guys have played on there. They have, right? DJs have had me play several different projects.
Yeah, I tend to play upstairs when I've done that.
Yeah,
Above.
I've done it every time. But they
Yeah.
built a venue kind of thing downstairs.
Right.
It's a trip. So,
Nice.
yeah, a gig there. But,
Yeah.
I mean, people are still asking about this stuff. No, yeah, Pennsylvania ain't so bad. No, nowhere's bad.
Yeah, it's not about that. I mean,
United
my whole
States.
I grew up
It's
in Maine,
Europe,
but my
it's
whole
Africa,
family's
it's
from
Asia.
Pennsylvania.
All
I
the
got
places are happening.
Yeah.
Ain't into that fucking bigotry shit.
Yeah, it's I got no problem with Pennsylvania. It's just commute
Yeah,
wise,
not at
we know what
all.
we need to do.
Not at all.
I spent all my
I-95
family.
tour, right? We'll play all those places.
Yeah, totally. We'll hang out in Scranton. We'll hang out in Wilkes-Barre. We'll hang out in Blue Balls and Paradise and Intercourse and all those Amish towns named
Yeah,
after.
that's Lancaster. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
going
Lancaster.
across Penn Turnpike.
Yeah.
One time, Minutemen broke a. Was it Minutemen? Yeah, Georgia got this van that had mags, and
Wow.
that road was so fucking beat up it broke a mag right off the hub.
Really.
Yeah, because they got extremes, you know, hot summers, cold winter. It's just
Yeah.
hell on roads.
I see a good
But there's
question.
nothing wrong with it, man.
Good
I
question.
like playing every place, everywhere.
Totally.
I'm not bigoted against any pad.
Nah, people are
Except the asshole boss, people who are abusive to gig goers.
Hey,
See a
what?
question?
Yeah. Lords of the Flies would like to know what's your
William
favorite
Golden.
sea shanty?
She shanty.
Yeah, she shanty.
Yeah,
She
with
sang.
16 tons on a dead man's chest.
Shantae away.
Yeah.
You know, blow the man down. What do you do with a drunken sailor?
Yeah.
Nick Cavello 78 said, "Mine's Roll Plymouth Rock."
Actually, you know,
From
this
the Beach
project I'm
Boys?
in with the Italian guys, Il Sogno di Mainaio, the original drummer man, found out there was a whole tradition of shanties from Genoa, Genovese sailors.
Wow.
And he used this shit to compose with. You know, the way that, what was his name? Bela Bartok used them Hungarian folk songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? And like I said, they were very pragmatic. You use those things to really get the work done.
Get in line.
Because you had
Get
to
the work done.
harness all the energies. No machinery.
Totally. All right. So I think that I should play something, and then we can
Oh.
wind it down.
Yeah.
Mystic. I've played Mystic before. Thirsty to open up.
Let's see. Yeah. Now we got all the towns thrown at us, so you know we'll
Wanna
see what
play
we
them
can
all,
do.
of course.
Yeah, we'll play them
Randy
all.
Boone used to dream about living in New England.
Wow.
And we remembered about the weather.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
man.
don't want no. Yeah.
By the way, come down the I-10. You know there's several I-110s. You know the interstate.
Stevie
Here we
Buono's
go.
coming down
Here
the
we go
I-10.
again with the half knowledge again. There's several 110s. You know that. If you know the interstate system, it means it's a spur because it starts with an odd number off the I-10. So the I-10 goes from fucking Santa Monica to Jacksonville, right? It's called Christopher Columbus Continental. We're going to take your land. Fuck you guys. No, it's actually a touring route built by the military for us. But,
I thought we had Rick Santorum
what
on here.
it means is that a spur means it only connects at one place, right? If it's an even number, it's a belt that connects at two places. So the Harbor Freeway, I-110, but there's I-110s all along the 10.
Let's play a track.
Okay, what
Do it.
Brandon, what track do you want me to play? We won't play anything we've used yet, so we won't use Big Burner or Beatified
Okay.
or the Durable Quest. So anything else.
What
Or
about
pick a number, 4 through 8.
What about 6?
6. There we go. All right. So I will play 6.
Oh, have we used that? Have we used 6?
I don't think so. No,
Okay.
I think we're good. I'll get it on in a second. I need
I'm
my...
throwing a number. 6 is
6 is
when we let me tell the audience people.
Yeah.
The titles came, like we said earlier, Brandon put them on. Mike revised a couple. But they started off as slices.
right.
slices of the cake.
Slice 1, slice 2. Yeah, because I was thinking slices of the cake.
I think this was originally slice 2. Was this slice 2 originally?
And
number 6?
and then things got put in order. The only thing I asked for was the first slice to be the first tune, because you only have that moment once.
Right. Oh, and the last one being last, which also makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes, you can buy a digital version. Just Google it. You can find it.
Well, the last tune
Not
is a
Google.
short tune.
Use a search engine.
Use
There's
the
several search
the
engines
information
out there. It's
superhighway.
not just one company.
Yeah, there you go. You're right. Use the information superhighway.
Kleenex. No, it's a tissue.
The last tune is short, so we could play that. The last tune is the shortest tune. We could, I don't know. We could, for now, play that.
Yeah, I'll just play the one that said 6, and I'll just put it quiet in the background.
That was my least favorite title.
What?
Whoa! Sorry, hang on. False alarm there. Oh, God! What was your least favorite title? Primary Fuel.
Oh, that was the 10th one?
Okay.
No, the 10th one is Ballad of the Gobsmacked. That was your least favorite. Okay. Yeah, well.
Because I've never used that fucking word in my life. But then, I'm not owner of all the vocabulary.
I thought you would have used that one, maybe.
Sounds like England.
I did see a good question.
The gob, they used to say that about loogie and
Oh, right, you got gobbed on stage. Oh,
like
I see,
loogie, like
yeah,
God's
loogies in your
some
mouth.
People might think God's loogies might sound weird.
I feel like this is an obvious question, but Sam Mickens wants to know who here has read Moby Dick.
I've read half of it. I admit, I haven't finished
I read
it.
Right, and I alone live to tell the tale.
Yeah, he also in the same question.
Call me Ishmael.
In the same question, he wants to know what our favorite rappers are. Who's your favorite rapper, Mike?
Strong Island, Rakim.
Rakim? Oh, solid. Okay.
Yeah.
You got one, Brandon?
Yeah, I like KRS-One.
Parkside, Philadelphia.
I met KRS-One.
Wow. Also, another Strong Island guy, Chuck D.
Yeah.
Sounds like Dr. King.
I'm very partial to Ghostface Killer, and there's so many, but
Reza. Staten Island, right? The Reza.
Yeah.
Ghostface too. Yeah, I don't know.
Totally. Yeah, Brandon. Dynamite Club, a band I used to be
Cube was good on that first record.
Who was?
Cube.
Yeah.
He wrote all the words for them dudes.
Really?
Yeah.
I
Easy,
opened up
right?
for KRS-One at some Christian party.
Cube,
oh wow!
Sound hot.
Wild.
Where, in Europe or something? No.
In Virginia, Richmond, and that was quite an experience. He had a huge entourage, and but he had some whole born again thing going on at the time. I don't know what's up with that, but whatever.
Wow.
Yeah, the other one. Who was that other guy?
Somebody asked me about Ed from Ohio.
Yeah.
I talked to him. Yeah. Edward got a lot of help from some people. He had some.
Yeah, that's right.
Thing with his leg, and they got rid of the blood clot and stuff.
Oh, good.
I talked to him not too long ago.
Is he on the mend?
And he's getting a guitar and going to do music again. I told him he asked about coming to Pedro to record Ed from Ohio album. And I said,
nice.
Yeah, I'll play bass for that. And,
nice. Yeah, somebody was asking us if we would record in California.
Are there any good musicians in Florida?
No.
Really?
No, I'm kidding.
You know, Mike Baguetta's going to move to Gainesville in July.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That's
there's
the
one.
town that Tom Petty's from, and he would never play there.
Huh.
Go Gators.
So there's one good musician.
Bill Bryson's from there, the Causeway. They were a great band from there. There's all kinds of
Yeah, Florida, I'm
playing
sure.
good
Well,
music out of
I mean,
Florida. I mean, it's crazy
Bill
to get all
Orcutt's from
bigoted
Florida.
like that.
lest we forget, Sam Rivers spent the golden years of his life in Florida as well.
Absolutely.
Jocko, Florida.
Pettibone took me to see Sam Rivers up in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Catalina on Cahuenga. He's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. The shit, we got to get away from this kind of shit. Reasons to hate each other.
Right. Totally.
Favorite noise band. Well,
there we go. That's what I was looking for. You got a favorite noise
who
band?
came up with the noise quote?
Noise quote?
It was a guest on my show. Yeah, like somebody playing some beautiful symphony, but if you're talking to somebody at a chow, that's noise to you.
Oh.
It's all, you know what I mean? It's all relative. It's a great point to make.
Right. Well, I
It's
tell
all
that.
beautiful. It's too subjective of a question, I think.
Totally.
Or label. That's what.
I say to my wife all the time, like if she puts on, I don't know, something that I can't handle, some pop music or something, and I'm driving, I'll be like, look, that's the equivalent of me putting on some Merzbow right now. If you were driving, like, I know to you this sounds great, but this is abject torture for me. So to each their own. But I don't know if I have a favorite noise band. There are so many composers.
Merzbow's good.
Yeah, Merzbow's great. I mean, I look at those people as composers more than a style of music.
There's a band up in the city called Botanist.
Mm-hmm.
I think he plays a fucking. It's Roberto backwards. How do you Oberst? How do you? Oberst.
Otrabor.
Otrabor. Yeah.
Otrabor.
And anyway, he plays he gets them from Pennsylvania. These electric zithers.
Oh yeah.
And he plays. It's beautiful stuff. I'm having a cat. What about? I'm having Randall Taylor from Amulets on the show in about 58 minutes, and he does cassette loops, right? So kind of Al Margolis territory.
Mm-hmm.
What about Scotty?
There you go. Idem Theftable. Yeah, if I had to pick one, it's Idem Theftable. Flat out. That's it.
Yeah. No, a Clang Quartet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had, because of Brother Evan Libson, a lot of connects with a lot of it, but I just call it more vocabulary to music. I won't. Noise sounds like a pejorative to me.
Right.
Next weekend.
It's so subjective of a word, and it's, I just try to I try to stay away from that word. I just call it a different kind of music. It's all music.
Totally.
And Robin Gristle, right?
Yeah. What was that? There was one that a certain number jazz funk greats. I must have heard that when I was in 7th grade. I have the cassette right over here.
Yeah, that one's kind of like 2-3 minute tunes. It's a little different.
Yeah, exactly. That was kind of
annual reports, like Hamburger Lady, shit like that. I mean,
yeah. Well, and like Bernard Parmigiana, you know this composer?
No.
You don't know? Oh man, I'm gonna say.
Send me some stuff.
Totally insane. So I mean, coming out of 20th century composition, but also like kind of insane performance aesthetic. Hyper masculine in some way, but totally absurd. He's still alive. Now he like gets on stage and does noise music with stuffed animals and shit, but it's fucking good. I'll send you some shit.
Great, thanks.
Yeah. All right. Shall we play something?
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Oh, you mean we didn't play something before?
Oh, I didn't play the song, but I'll do it now, and we can just talk over it. So this is Primary Fuel, which is the 6th song off of our album, which will be out in 2 weeks. The music video came out today. The band is 3 Layer Cake.
Yeah, but I think the video is Burner.
Big
Burner. Exactly. Big Burner. That's up. This song doesn't have.
Okay. Maybe I can ask a question, Brandon. What made you think of that title?
Big Burner. Well, I went to the stove and I was staring at it, and it just came to me literally. I was looking at the stove, and the first title I had. That's the first title I came up with. I wanted it to like literally connect with the stove, and I was looking at the stove, and I think,
No,
yeah.
that makes good sense.
I mean, it was simple. As simple as that. There's no big conceptual thing behind that title other than
It
just
was
like,
literal.
it was literal, big burner, and I thought it fit the song.
Almost
Totally.
like an onomatopoeia.
Yeah,
Piamatic. Onomatopoeiematic.
onomatopoeiematic.
Right? The word
Big
that
burner.
sounds like it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Click
exactly.
and boom.
boom.
That version of that word is tough. Onomatopoeiematic, or I added a syllable or something?
No, I don't think. Yeah, it's just an yeah.
Onomatopoeiatic? I don't
It's
know.
a word that sounds like what it's trying to describe.
Yeah, big
Yeah.
burner. It just
Confusion.
comes off the mouth like.
Now, you
big,
know, it's funny.
but-
You know, we hear dogs go bow, wow, wow, but we still call them dogs. In Japan, they hear a dog go wonk, wonk, wonk. So they call them wonkos.
Well, at least they don't call pigs groins in France, because in France the pigs go groin groin, right?
Yeah, so people hear them nature sounds different.
Totally. It's
That-
weird.
That's okay. That's
Yeah.
why there's more than one fucking band.
Right. Exactly.
Oh, here we go. Let's listen.
There you go. Can you hear it? You got it?
Yep.
All right, so I'll stop talking. You guys can talk, or I'll play this, and I think we'll wind it down in a couple minutes.
Yeah, sure.
If I should turn it down, because
No, it's good.
Chris Delaware.
Oh, there we go. Onomatopoeiotomy? What?
US
That sounds like some
Chicago.
shit out of this. Oh, wait, wrong book. I don't know. Can we read this? I got no idea.
Cutthroat Brothers. Yeah, I just did an album for them. I want to make a ball hugger tugboat with Cleveland people. If I do another one, it'll be a Cleveland wrestling
Nice.
record.
Nice.
Just with Cleveland people. Well, somebody asked me a question. Of course, it has nothing to do with 3-layer cake. Like I say, you know, that's what, like CB radio. Fuck. Nothing changed in 50, 60 years.
Who's your cat in Cleveland? Who's your first call cat in Cleveland?
John Petkovich.
Okay.
But you know, it's home of Perubu.
Yeah, Tony
Right.
People
Mamoni.
like Tony
Tony Mamoni.
Tony Mamoni, Tom Herman, Alan Ravenstein,
Alan
who
Ravenstein.
actually lives in Manhattan now. But the huge inspirations to the Minutemen. I can't even imagine what the Minutemen would sound like without Perubu.
Didn't you
Dave
record with
Thomas.
Tony Mamoni? Didn't you record the?
Scott Krause, great drummer, Manny Connell. I did my third opera at. I recorded twice with Tony Mamoni. One was the third opera Hyphenated Man, Studio G.
Studio
And
G,
then at
right.
the newer Studio G with Nels Klein, Greg Sarnier, Nick Reinhardt, great Big Walnuts Yonder. And I got to both times play Tony Mamoni's 1966 jazz, Fender Jazz.
Nice.
He's a beautiful man.
We got Brighton in the house. All right, I think we got about 10 seconds.
All right, we'll wrap it up. That's
Yeah, we'll finish the song and then we'll say our goodbyes, I think.
Yeah, asking me personal Watt questions. This is about 3-layer cake, guys. So you can ask Watt a Watt question, but have it in context of 3-layer cake. Asking if the first 2 Dose albums are going to be reissued. I mean, come on. You're like trying to let everybody know you know a little bit about me. Come on, what about Brandon and Mike here? You know, jeez.
Nobody's asking me when I'm going to re-release Ned.
Yeah, I
fucking
know.
Muffleberger.
yeah,
Burger.
yeah. Re-released Ned Muffleberger. I was gonna call the last song "Ballad of the Muffleburgers." Actually, I
Not
should
bad.
have. I should have. Next album. I
You
don't
know,
know
I
why
have
I didn't go with it. I thought maybe you wouldn't be down with that. I should have just done it.
oh man, I'm any
Any
Ned
reference.
Muffleberger references
I
that
know.
should never happening again. So any reference to
All
that
right,
is
next album. Next album, there's a tune called Muffleburgers. Yeah.
there you go. You know how that name came about is I just picked the two things I hated the most, which was drum muffles, which I don't feel that way now, and
And
burgers. I still don't
oh,
eat bread. So it was just I
nice,
hate people who muffled their drums like Steve Gadd. I fucking hated that.
nice.
And I didn't like, hamburgers. So Ned was a
I think
terrible name.
Jonathan Richman had his drummer man put towels on the.
Yeah. I mean, now I respect the muting, but at the time I just couldn't get with it. So yeah.
That's a
And at
perfect
the
way
time,
to close it out with that Muffleburger.
Muffleburger. Also, hanging with Milford Graves, like muffling a drum was a big no-no.
Ah,
You want that drum to speak and do what it wants to do, and you learn to control
Here's
that
a
drum.
good question. What do you guys like the most about each other's approach to making music?
oh, that's a great one.
What? All right, let's end with that question. Who wants to go first?
I'll go
Okay,
first.
what
All
I
right.
like the way Mike wasn't afraid to just start this fucking thing off by bringing drums. I like the way Brandon took what we gave him and made something of it.
Totally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like the way that Mike Pride always pushes forward no matter what's going on with whatever he has, and makes it makes incredible statements, and his discography is huge, and he always pushes forward with new music and always new ideas, and same with Mike Watt. It's incredibly inspiring. His work ethic and his music and his bass playing. I don't know. Yeah. And the
Totally.
parts they made together were really were just such a joy to play to and make parts to, and it was so easy. It was you could almost play anything over it. It would have sounded good.
Yeah, and for me, like I knew as soon as I spoke with Watt, as soon as we got going doing his show, I just knew the energy was good and the perspective was compatible in a fun way. So I didn't have any hesitation proposing that we do something. Like as soon as we finished the show, I sent him a message, just because I just had a feeling, and I always trust those feelings. If something feels right, go for it. Otherwise, I tend to be pretty shy and quiet. But if I feel that there's
Me
a
too.
vibe,
Me too.
I grab it. And so he was immediately down. And then, I knew it would be good just from the energy of talking with him. And, I love his playing and his sound and his feel. And there's a sinuous thing to his bass playing that kind of envelops everything that's going around and puts it in a place that's exciting for me. And Brandon, I've known a long time and is always the most exciting string player in the room. And
Hey.
I've never seen a performance of Brandon's that wasn't the best thing I could possibly imagine.
Wow. Hey, wow.
So it was a no-brainer for me. So I obviously love that about Brandon. And yeah, I mean, it's a dream team as far as I'm concerned for what I enjoy.
So question answered?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're
Okay.
good.
We're good.
Awesome. So everybody, thanks for tuning in. I guess that it's saved somewhere on the information superhighway.
Well, we should tell them a week from today the same thing happens, right?
Yeah,
Nice.
we'll do this up to the 14th every Friday at noon.
Great.
So
Noon, East Coast time. Come on.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's 9 o'clock.
Noon East Coast, worldwide. Noon East Coast
5
time.
o'clock in England.
Yeah, exactly. It's like 5 in England it'll be or something, and 9 in California. But yeah, come back next Friday
Hamburg.
and we'll shoot the shit again. We'll play another track off of it. We're not going to play more than one track a week just because
Maybe we can figure out a way to get the fidelity nice on the playing something on Instagram. There's got to be a way, no? Does anybody know out there how to play a track on here with maybe some? We'll figure it out. Maybe we can.
If there's some kind of interface for
Yeah.
you using a leash,
Right.
because I'm using an iPad, but
Yeah,
maybe
I'm using a
leash.
phone. There's got to be a way.
Yeah, but there's probably an interface, and then you
Yeah.
can bring that in.
You can bring it in, and we can listen to it.
Right.
Nice. figure it
All
out.
right.
And
Well,
be better
we'll
than
think
like the little speaker microphone trying to
yeah.
translate your speaker thing.
Yeah, I got it like sitting right next to the speaker, so it's not even going to get the
So
stereo
look,
image.
people, you got a whole week. You got 7 days to think of questions besides, can you do gigs?
Right.
You know, some
Exactly.
smart ass said, "Oh, can you play your instruments live?" You know, CB radio, it's old hat. It ain't new. You know, the boomer joke won't work even because you're using boomer shit. Okay, CB radio, hiding behind some goddamn pewter thing to be real. Would you really say that to somebody?
Man, we used to
Real
have
life?
my kitchen every on Friday nights when I was really young. What a Friday night would mean in Southern Maine was turn on the Red Sox game on silent on the little black and white TV above the refrigerator,
Oh yeah.
and turn on the CB radio and see who's ramming around town getting in trouble.
Man, in high school, I had electric. I took a test, right? Oh, you're going to be fixing TVs and key punch machines. So I had like 6 hours of electric shop a day. And what a lot of the dudes in there was doing, because the legal limit for CB amps is 5 watts. So these motherfuckers they were motherfuckers. They're good. Guys, Pedro guys, they're okay. But anyway, they built these fucking 10,000 watt linear amps. So you could like melt dudes' antennas. They'd come by on their car and it'd melt. You could talk to Florida. It's what humans do. They get into it, for what?
Yeah.
Just to talk shit.
Yeah.
My landlord was, I remember his name was Paranoid. His favorite 2 bands were Black Sabbath and Bruce Springsteen. Oh, and also Styx. He said Styx was the best LSD band because he saw a gig and they all came, a flower opened up and each guy walked out on a pedal and it blew his fucking mind.
I don't know if I would want to be.
His name was Vince Perkov and we lost him, and he's a beautiful guy. But you could tell it was Vince because of his voice. So it didn't matter if he used a handle and shit like that because I knew the man. So I do his voice and stuff. But these other guys, I know some of your names here. And kind of weird. So, but
All right, you got a week.
This has got a point to it, though. The point is you got 7 days.
Get it
Come
together,
up with
people.
some questions because we already dealt with this issue about playing the gigs.
Yeah, we need something
You
else.
got to come up with some fresh questions, and hopefully it's about the Stovetop album. That would be really bitchy.
Right. Hey, yo, I see
Stovetop
Portland,
album,
Maine here.
And then these 3 music guys. It could be related to stuff like that. Them working together, not some arcane history about what gear they're using, or who they blew. Shit like that. I would be most grateful. So we got a week, and like Mike says, we're going to do this once a week until the release day.
Yeah.
So there's more than one. There's 3 of them, right? There's 3 more.
We got 2 more.
2 more.
Yeah, we got next Friday, and then the next Friday after that it comes out. So we'll do 2 more of these.
Okay.
And check the video.
Low-end-
Check the video for Big Burner out today on all Instagram. You can find it out there, and we'll be talking.
And who
about that
made the
more.
video? Did Mike? You make the video?
No, I
Annie
wish. I
Blondette
can't do.
Made the video. Annie East Blondette, my wife.
Your Como? Who made it?
Annie East.
Oh no, you
Blondette
know
Medina.
Brandon, right? Because you were Brandon. You facilitated that, right?
I did. My wife, Annie East, directed,
Yeah.
edited, produced it, wrote it, and you can check it today. It's up there.
Great. I want to do that.
Check it out.
It's amazing. Awesome. Hey, Lowen McCrae, I don't know who you are, but I'm from Maine, so I see the Portland, Maine in the house. So
Nice.
I don't know who you are. Maybe I would recognize you. Probably not. I haven't been in Maine living for 21 years. But
Yeah,
Portland,
but you ain't that far,
it's not. Oh,
right? You could just drive down the road and get there, Mike.
let me show you some real down east shit right here. Hopefully,
Yeah.
Lowen's still here. First of all, when my mom died, I only took a couple things. I wanted the New England puzzle,
Wow.
There you go.
Wow.
and it's not so distant cousin, the counties of Maine puzzle.
Whoa.
Wow.
Aroostook
One
County
time
just
I
fell
played
off the map.
Portland, It was July, and I was in Portland, Maine at 100 degrees. It set a record. It was a club called Zydeco.
Oh yeah. When was
you remember? In Portland, it was hard for a place to stay open, so there was always different pads.
Yeah, you must have played at Zoots at some point.
That's it. It was Zoots.
Right.
Zydeco is down in Birmingham.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah. Oh man.
Oh
Okay.
man, my stupid memory. See, you're always playing new gigs.
Yeah. I'm gonna give
It was
one
Zoots.
non
It was
sequitur.
Zoots, man.
Do you guys know the band Christian Death?
Of course.
Okay.
Roz.
Yeah.
But he's no longer with us. But
So
nice
they were
guy.
like a metal goth band, you know, and when I saw them,
Well,
it was,
yeah, God, kind of heavy.
yeah. And when I saw them at Zoots, there was an issue with the power.
Oh.
And you know, Christian Death had this whole light show, and they couldn't do it, but it was a big part of the show for whatever tour this was. This must have been in the late '90s. And so the singer got on stage with like the bondage guy,
Roz.
you know, thing going across his chest, and he just had two big construction flashlights, and that was his light show. He was just like doing this with the flashlights the whole time, and
Man,
it was pretty
if
weird.
it rains lemons,
Yeah.
make lemonade, you know? I got
Totally.
projects with some longshoremen here in Pedro that was we can't do gigs. Yeah, well, we can collaborate, record,
Right.
and it's called the Lemonade Makers.
Nice.
These are dock worker guys. And yeah, and we came up with 6 songs. Why not?
Totally.
Let the freak flag fly. Instead of bitching and fucking whining and belly.
Totally.
Right.
Oh man, the other crazy thing I saw at that place, I saw Hammerhead there when I was like 15, wow. And the drummer of Hammerhead, I used to know him too. I met him when I moved to New York. He's actually a nice guy. Do you know who the drummer of Hammerhead was, Mike?
No.
Okay. Anyways, he was having a
I
bad
don't know
hit.
that band. I don't know that band.
Okay, they were an amphetamine reptile band, kind of hardcore-ish. Anyway, drummer was having a hard show, I guess, and in the middle of the concert, he picked his snare drum up with the stand and everything, and just fucking threw it at the audience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It didn't hit anybody. Everybody moved, fortunately, but that snare
Well,
drum.
where's Gigi Allen from? New Hampshire?
Is he a New Englander?
Oh yeah, for sure. He's either Vermont or New Hampshire. I think New Hampshire.
Let's see.
Wow.
Gigi Allen.
Well, I don't know where Hammerhead. Amphet Reptile was Minneapolis, right?
Yes, he's
But
from.
the bands weren't. They were from all over.
He's from where?
Urinals had a record on that label. Great.
Yeah, they had a bunch of great records on that label in the '90s that I remember. Gigi Allen was from Lancaster.
Oh, Mike Stiley, his son. I knew this guy. Beautiful man in Tennessee, and we lost him early. And this is his son. You can tell I'm 63 years old. No, he's a beautiful man. Mike Stiley, a great. And his buddy Dave in Marietta. They would see us in Georgia because that's where Dave lived, but Mike was from Tennessee, and great cat. Actually, it was a couple Daves and a couple Mikes. It's like they had just 2 names.
I have to. Oh, drummer and bass player Paul became Vaz. That's right.
Oh.
And Tyler from Vaz, I knew from booking Zebulon.
Right. I like them. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, Vaz was great. I see
Bunch.
Sam Mickens asked, "Who are the drunkest people you've ever played with?" Sam, that's you. There was a show where Sam did the same song 2 times in a row with the same in-between song banter.
Yeah, of course.
It's like an epically long cover of a Michael Jackson song, like "We Are the Children" or something like that. So I had to answer that question, Sam, since my answer is you. Brandon, do you have a
I'm trying
drunk
to think.
been on stage with?
The drunkest people I've ever played with. I don't want to name any names.
Yeah, I only answered because my answer is the person.
One time I fucking ruined a gig being Baracho in Minneapolis.
You were a Baracho?
Yeah. Yeah, Nels Klein on stage and Bob Leash, the Black Gang, and I shamed them.
Oh, shit.
And I never played on alcohol again after that gig.
Yeah.
That was the worst. It was in 1998. And I soiled myself. I soiled them.
Wow.
Terrible. It was terrible. It was. I can't hear pitch. I can't keep rhythm. Alcohol's not good for me with music with me at all. So usually I use it after. Yeah.
After.
I'd only done it a couple times. I remember the worst time was that gig. It was the last tour of my first opera, and it was the most shameful thing. Nels Klein. You got an opportunity to tour with him and Bob Lee, Steve Reed. was the man. But I gave him a mic. He sang with us and shit. I hate this divisional labor shit. I want to get everybody involved, but you can also let everyone down. So don't go up there fucked up. Yeah.
And I'm happy to report, I see the friend of mine who asked that question. He says he quit drinking. So that's excellent. Congrats. Nicely done.
Or you put it in its place, or it'll put you in its place.
Totally. So now we got some interesting questions. So save them for next week. Worst gear daily.
Same for next
All
week.
that stuff's good.
Watt's got to get ready for his Watch from
All right,
Pedro
guys.
show.
Everybody, great to see you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Watt.
Thank you, Watt Pride.
Video. And we'll see you guys next Friday. Same time, same place.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a bitch and talk with everybody, and especially the pertinent questions. I'm very grateful for that. Thank you.
Exactly. And I'll try to go back through this and write down some of the questions that people submitted that are good so we can use them next time.
And this was, what, like an hour, 54 minutes?
No, hour 90.
This went for about 90.
Hour
We can
and
try
a half? Okay.
Yeah. But we can do 15 minutes if we want.
No, it's all right.
Someone
I
actually
didn't notice.
Someone
didn't notice.
Someone chimed in and said if you take an eighth out from your computer into the mic port on the phone, you can get the direct audio. Look back in the if you take
it's the way to get the
if you take an out from your
quality.
computer or whatever you're playing the music from into the headphone jack, you can get
I will
try. Let's try. We can do a test. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, mess around with that. I'll mess around with that. We'll figure it out.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody. Happy Friday.
Ciao.
Powder dry.
See you.